I request Sri Chief Acharya Ji to honor the chief guest. Now I request the chief guest to deliver his keynote address.
My pranams to the Chief Acharya, other Swamijis and Swaminis, and distinguished members of the audience. I am no stranger to this institution. I have been coming here for long, and I have also become old, and some of these people have also become old. You can't help it. Everything is fine. We had good rains last night, and the place is cool and nice. First I thought this place was air-conditioned, but then I realized God has made the whole place air-conditioned for this event to be a big success. Now, Bharata Vidya Bhavan, Arsha Vidya Gurukulam. So there is a lot in common between us, Swami. You are doing in a big way, we are doing in a small way, that's all. And it's high time we called Arsha Vidya Gurukulam as Adya Arsha Vidya Peedam. It's my opinion, 34th year, I think, Swamiji, this has become a Peedam and no more a Gurukulam. With the permission of Pujya Swamiji, if all is well, all is okay, it's time we called ourselves a Peedam. That's the stature of this institution. Now, how I am here. How many of you can understand Tamil here? Or rather, how many of you cannot understand Tamil here? I'm going to speak in English only. But to be here, to justify anybody standing here and giving the keynote address, one has to be either a profound scholar of Sanskrit and Vedanta, which I am not. Or one has to be a very learned teacher of Vedanta, again I am not. The minimum, one should have been at least a passionate student of Vedanta, again I am not. So, eppadi paathalum endha thagidiyum illai. But still, Pujya Acharya, Chief Acharya, by his grace felt, why not try out this man? I originally thought you would have had some big celebrity in mind, and last minute that man would have cancelled, and you wanted a supplement, but you could have chosen a better supplement. A very poor supplement is virtually put here, and you have to bear with me, and they have given me, am I right, Swamiji, 25 minutes? Am I right? Let us understand each other. And there's a big clock there. Now, it's sheer grace of Pujya Swamiji that I'm here. I had known him for long. You all know that. I remember Pujya Swamiji as a young man, very handsome, but clad in yellow dress. That was perhaps the early stage. He used to give lectures in Bhavan, and we all used to be there. And our good fortune is that he chose our place to be the headquarters of his institution. Now it is spread all over. But still, this is kind of the headquarters, I would say. And we must thank all those who stood with him at that time to make this dream possible. We had come here from day one onwards. When we all came here and we saw this place, it's a God-forsaken place. Totally dry, no trace of any greenery, and we were all talking among ourselves. How could Swamiji select a place like this? But today, Swami, when I came here, what a transformation has happened. How nice and beautiful this place is. You can't have a better ambience for a study of Vedanta than this. Close to the city, yet very serene. We must all thank our stars for Swamiji to have chosen this place. Because of this Gurukulam, the stature of Coimbatore has gone up, I would say. Because world over, this place is now known as a place of learning. So we should be thankful for that. We have all heard Swamiji many a time. And we are taken aback by the in-depth knowledge of Vedanta and his skill to express it. Normally, if one is a profound scholar, he or she may not be a good speaker. But Swamiji was two in one. He was, as I told you, an authority in Vedanta. And equally so was good in communicating it with the audience. And difficult concepts, he could convey it in a most simple form with utmost clarity and very convincingly. These are all, I'm sure you all heard him many times. And his care and concern for humanity, I know it personally. He was worried why this humanity is moving aimlessly without a sense of direction or purpose. He was very much concerned about it. And he was a very charismatic man. You'll all agree with me. Swami, I used to tease him. I used to tell Swamiji, you have a very photogenic face. You cameramen will agree with me. Take a picture of him from any angle, he will still be the same and beautiful. This picture of Swamiji, I would like to tell the audience, was taken in our residence. That picture. Now I understand that it's been more or less the most sought after picture. It was taken in our residence at our village. And he was a perfect monk in the real sense. No likes, no dislikes. He can adjust to any situation. Comforts never mattered. He was the same with everybody. He never believed in marketing himself or his institution. He once told me, I hate this marketing. You know what is happening in other places, I don't want to name. The kind of marketing they do. But Swamiji never believed in marketing. This is not a concept to be marketed. This is the strength of this nation. It is for the, if we stick on to this tradition, it is good for all of us. And he was comfortable in the company of great scholars. Equally so, I have seen him, he was equally comfortable and at ease with rustic, rural villages. I don't know how one can be the same in both extremes. As I told you, among you scholars, he was the same. And once he came to my village and he addressed my village folk. He spoke in broken Tamil, though he is a Tamilian himself. But he could communicate. He could get connected with the rural population. And his biggest disappointment was this great land of ours with such a big treasure, but totally ignorant about it. Once Palkiwala said, Indians are like donkeys. They don't know the load they are carrying, but moving on aimlessly. So he was very, very, very sad about it. And equally so, he was worried about the onslaught of the Western culture civilization and materialism. He was very much concerned about it. Once Swami, he came to my village. He stayed for a whole day. Then I told him, Swami, having come, I want you to address our family. All of our family members were there. They all squatted on the ground, and Swamiji was sitting in a chair and speaking. And you know what he said? Please listen to this very carefully. What I am most concerned is that orthodoxy is not able to keep pace with modernity. புரியுதுங்களா? இந்த நவநாகரிகமான உலகத்தில் நாம் காலாகாலமாக கட்டிக்காத்த விழுமியங்கள் சிரமப்படுதுன்னு சொன்னார். And I could see in his face how sad he was. What a great tradition. What a great tradition. Unfortunately, losing its hold because of the modernism. And one big initiative of Swamiji was the formation of the Acharya Sabha. The very, very unique initiative, nobody thought of it. And it didn't happen overnight. It took its own time for him to bring under one umbrella all the Acharyas of India. As a thing, I don't know whether it is still continuing, I don't know. Is it still continuing, Swami? Yes. And he told me that we have small differences, agreed. But that apart, we are all here to convey the same message. So it's high time we all came together. And he used to address thousands of people. I remember him addressing in Chennai and Bangalore and other places. But spellbound audience. He could keep the audience mesmerized by his ability to communicate, as I told you, most difficult concepts in such simple form. And in between, lot of humor, you know. He was a very humorous man. தெரியுமா உங்களுக்கெல்லாம்? அதெல்லாம் சொல்ல நேரம் இல்லை. 25 நிமிஷத்தில் எத்தனை சொல்கிறது? எனக்கு நியாயமாக ஒரு வாரம் வாங்க தினம் 1 மணி நேரம்னு சொல்லியிருக்கணும். Because I know so much about the man. I know so much about the man. Swami Dayananda Saraswati cannot be told in 25 minutes. It's an insult to him and his wisdom, I would say. இப்படியெல்லாம் பண்ணக்கூடாது சாமி. என்ன சாமி? அது நல்லா இருக்காது. But he's gone. He's no more with us. It's a hard reality. But he lives on in us by virtue of his thoughts and his works. He's not gone anywhere. And I must say a word about his connection with the Bharata Vidya Bhavan. He had a great liking for Bharata Vidya Bhavan. And I openly told on an occasion that Swamiji is our patron saint of the Bharata Vidya Bhavan. No major decision in Bharata Vidya Bhavan we ever took without consulting him. In fact, when we first conferred the Sangeet Samraj title, it was he who suggested first award should go to Lalguri Jayaraman. It was he who said, and he came and gave it also. So, now, Adoru Vakam. Times are changing. Time is also running out. Times are changing. Time is running out. And Swamiji is watching Swamiji, you have a watch in you. Apro, times are changing. Great changes are happening. I see a young man there. Great times are changing. I'm happy to see young people like you here. Idella meant for us, you know. At least that's what it is thought. This myth has to go. Gurukulam is not for old people. Gurukulam is for our grandchildren. You must come with your grandchildren. When I saw a few kids reciting the Vedanta, I asked Swamiji, how many are there here? This is what is needed today. This great, profound philosophy has to be passed on to generations to come. So, great changes are happening. And you know something? When changes happen, two things happens. Big challenges come. Big opportunities also come. I have no time to get into it. You know the changes that are happening in the world and in India. as a result of which huge opportunities are knocking our doors. Equally so, huge challenges are also threatening us. Now the question is how to convert challenges into opportunities. You can't run away from challenges. You got to meet them with all courage at your command. Equally so, you have to avail of the opportunities. You can't miss the opportunity. India cannot afford to miss the opportunity. Equally so, India, using its tradition and the age-old wisdom, should be ready to counter the challenges also. Now, can I list to you the challenges humanity faces? சொல்லிட்டுங்களாம்மா எனக்காக வேண்டியது என்னங்கிறீங்களா சொல்லுங்க சொல்லுங்க பாருங்க அவங்களுக்கு இருக்கிற ஆர்வம் இன்னைக்கு இருக்கிற கல்லூரி மாணவனுக்கு இல்லையேங்கிறதா எனக்கு இருக்கிற வருத்தம் இந்த அம்மாவுக்கு எவ்வளோ ஆர்வம் she wants to know the challenges humanity faces பட் இன்னைக்கு கல்லூரியில் இருக்கிற பையனுக்கு கவலை இல்லையே பாருங்க challenges can I recite it and I tell you racial discrimination religious intolerance regional conflicts social upheavals political tensions cultural degradation emergence of a monoculture here I stop the emergence of monoculture நான் எங்கேயோ பேசி அன்னைக்கு பேப்பரில் வந்து சுவாமி படிச்சுட்டார் this big man telephoned me நான் இன்னைக்கு பேப்பரில் பார்த்தேன் you spoken about the threat of monoculture இது ரொம்ப அதிகமாக பேசுங்க அவருக்காக வேண்டியதுங்க so emergence of a monoculture then ecological imbalance ever increasing aspirations cutthroat competition loss of inner peace and leisure in man lack of creativity deprivation of the divinity in man the overpowering of the animal instincts in man and finally terrorism these are some of the threats humanity faces today not only India the whole humanity faces now idukku enna what is the remedy I listed out the maladies where are the remedies here Swami Ranganathananda of the Ramakrishna told me personally every nation has their maladies but believe me only India has their remedies idukka kai தட்டுங்க இந்த கை தட்டுறத முடிவு பண்ணால் கொஞ்சம் பலமாக கை தட்டி பழகணும் ஒருவேளை இதெல்லாம் இங்கே நாட் அலவுடோ என்னமோ ஸோ அண்ட் இன்னொன்று சொன்னார் வெரி இம்பார்ட்டண்ட் மேன் இஸ் த காஸ் ஃபார் ஆல் ப்ராப்ளம்ஸ் அண்ட் மேன் ஹேஸ் டு பி த சொல்யூஷன் if nothing is all right outside we are the cause. Don't blame the merciful God or nature. We have tampered with everything and brought up to ourselves all this. So we have to be the ones to solve it as well. அப்புறம் இந்த இடத்துல தான் சுவாமி for our chief acharya I have to say while we are keen to produce more scholars and students of Vedanta which is the prime aim of our Gurukulam equally so Swami we have to instill the will and vision to live the message of Vedanta. Vedanta is not something to be kept in the puja room and worshipped. No, not at all. It is something to be practiced, brought it in our lives. We have to live it. Otherwise, it's no point in all these great works of our rishis. So, this is, I think, the challenge before the Gurukulam. Now, about Vedanta. It is easily the pride of India. Minus the Advaita Vedanta, is there anything, Swami, we can go around telling big about ourselves? No. Can you imagine, thousands and thousands of years ago, these rishis sitting somewhere in the Himalayas and caves and jungles contemplated onto the ultimate and came out with certain startling declarations which are kept intact till this very space age. இதை நம்ப முடியுமா? Once Swamiji, I met Swami Chidananda of the Divine Life Society at Rishikesh and I asked him, Swamiji, we talk so high about our country. What is so great about India? அப்போதான் அவர் சொன்னார், when the rest of the world was in utter darkness of ignorance, it was in this blessed land great rishis came, unraveled the mystery behind man and came out with startling declarations. போகிற போக்கில் சொன்னது தான், all men are potentially divine. This shook the world. This virtually shook the world. The world couldn't believe its ears. Each soul is potentially divine. And they went away. But an unbroken chain of great masters kept the message alive till this very space age. And this is the greatness of India. Today, if the world respects us, it is only for this. Swami, even the biggest of the universities in the world, they are doing research on this. How could in this blessed country, thousands of years ago, these rishis sitting in some jungles and caves could come out with such declarations? Even today, they are difficult to believe. Advaita Vedanta is the most scientific, progressive, eternally relevant, highly logical, extremely practical, and capable of standing the test of time and reason. இதுக்கு எங்கே போகிறது? இதை பெருமை தெரிய வேண்டாமா? மனம் போன போக்கில் கண்டதே காட்சி கொண்டதே கோலம் இன்றைய சமுதாயம் போய்கொண்டிருக்குதே, இதெல்லாம் தெரிஞ்சுக்க வேண்டாமா? இந்த இடத்துக்கு வந்ததுக்கே புண்ணியம் பண்ணியிருக்கணும். எஸ், இன்னைக்கு நாம் கொஞ்சம் பேர் இங்கே கூடியிருக்கிறோமே, அதுக்கு புண்ணியம் பண்ணியிருக்கணும். ஏதோ not by accident you have come here today. If you are here this minute, it is, take it from me, providence has brought us here. பாருங்களேன், Advaita Vedanta is easily the most scientific, progressive, eternally relevant, highly logical, extremely practical, and capable of standing the test of time and reason. After 1,000 years also, no matter what be the changes that can happen in the world outside, still this philosophy can never go stale or irrelevant. It will always be needed by humanity. So, அதை நாம் புரிஞ்சுக்கணும். So, அதனால தான் here, while introducing me, they said I am a great admirer of Swami Vivekananda. Who is not, for that matter? Who is not? Swami Vivekananda is not a big attraction only in India and among Hindus. Swami Vivekananda is now most admired by the whole world, cutting across race, religion, everything. That is Swami Vivekananda. And that Vivekananda said, இதை பாருங்க, அவருக்குனே ஒரு வே ஆஃப் புட்டிங் திங்ஸ் இருக்கு, கொஞ்சம் ரூடாகவும் இருக்கு, கொஞ்சம் சிரமமாகவும் இருக்கு. சொல்கிறாரு, a philosophy that cannot stand the test of time and reason has no business to exist. No reason to exist னு சொல்லக்கூடாதா? கொஞ்சம் மைல்டா சொல்லியிருந்தா அது விவேகானந்தர் அல்லவே. பாருங்க, a philosophy that cannot stand the test of time and reason has no business to exist. தூக்கி எறியுங்கிறார். ஒரு தத்துவத்துக்கு நடைமுறைப்படுத்த முடியாவிட்டால், மனித சமுதாயத்திற்கு நன்மை பயக்காமல் போனால், we don't need it. Throw it. அதை விட அடுத்து ஒன்று சொல்கிறார், difficult to believe. Vedanta should reach the slums of India. Mark these words. மெத்த படித்த ஒரு சிலருக்காக எழுதப்பட்டதல்ல வேதாந்தம். The Vedanta is for the masses. The farm laborer, rather the farm worker and the industrial worker and the farm laborer also should know. Not for you and me. இன்னும் சொல்ல போனால், as long நாம் இங்கிலீஷில் பேசுகிறத குறைச்சிட்டு சாமி மாதிரி தமிழில், சாமி கொஞ்சம் நில்லுங்க சாமி, நாங்கள் கண்ட ஒரே சாமி இந்த சாமி தான், உட்காருங்க. என்ன அழகா தமிழில் எவ்வளோ பிரமாதமாக சொல்கிறாரு. I used to have a lot of argument with Pujya Swamiji, you know. நாங்கள் ரெண்டு பேரும் சந்திச்சிட்டோம்னா அப்படி இருக்கு பேச்சு. Swamiji, what is the use of you sitting in this jungle and preaching this? Come to the city. Meet lakhs and lakhs of college students day in and day out. Convey this message to them. Let this message reach every nook and corner of this great country and the world. And tell it in the vernacular languages. இப்போ நானே இங்கிலீஷில் பேசிகிட்டு இருக்கிறேன்னா இங்கே ஒத்துக்க மாட்டாங்கங்கிறக்காக இவர் தமிழில் பேசுவார். அப்போது again, as I told you, Vedanta should reach the slums of India. இந்த மகாகவி பாரதி படம் பார்த்துருக்கீங்களா? I don't know how many of you are read his life. You have seen it? பார்த்துருக்கீங்களா? அங்கே ஒருத்தருக்கார். He used to bring children from the slums and put them the sacred thread and teach them Vedanta. You know what he told the lowest of the low of India? Don't go and with folded hands bend before them and ask for reservations. Read the Vedanta, argue with them, win over, and you too will be accepted one day. That's what Mahakavi Bharati said. So he wanted this to go to the slums. Then, again, Vedanta is not for an intellectual extravagance. நம்மளை போன்ற ஒரு சிலர் உட்கார்ந்து கொண்டு நம்முடைய அறிவை காட்டிக்கொள்ளுவதற்காக வந்த ஒன்று அல்ல. This is meant for the ordinary man. And mind you, thousands of years ago when these were all written, the world was different. Today the level of literacy has gone up. So things have changed considerably. Swami, I will tell you one thing very interesting. One day I came here and I was talking to him. First time I saw Swamiji's voice getting choked and tears coming down. ஒரே ஒரு முறை தான் பார்த்துருக்கிறேன். The voice got choked and tears were coming. என்ன தெரியுங்களா? It seems he went to a tribal village nearby for a village festival not by high class people but by the ordinary tribals. ஒரு tribal உடைய திருவிழாவுக்கு போறார். He parked his car and he was walking towards the temple. All villagers excited to see Swamiji, they were receiving him, and he was going in a kind of a procession. At that time, he saw an ordinary, totally unlittered fellow, half naked, sitting under a tree and grazing his goats. He went to him and Swamiji went to that man and asked him, ஏப்பா உங்கள் சாமிக்கு அங்கே திருவிழா நடக்குது, நீ என்ன இங்கே உட்காந்துட்டு ஆடு மேய்ச்சிட்டு இருக்கிறீங்க? You know what that man told, this great man, an authority of Vedanta and grammar. அவன் சொன்னான், அது என்ன சாமி? அப்படின்னா எனக்கு ஒரு சாமி உனக்கு ஒரு சாமியா? உன் சாமியை பார்க்க போகலையேங்கிறிய, உனக்கு எது சாமின்னு கேட்டான். அப்போ சொன்னார், அப்போ தான் his voice choked. அப்போ என்ன சொன்னார்? அசந்து போயிட்டேன் இந்த புண்ணிய பூமியை நினச்சி. அனைத்து வேதங்களையும் படித்து ஆயிரக்கணக்கான மாணவர்களை உருவாக்கி உலகமே ஏற்றுக்கொண்ட நிலையில் ஒரு சாதாரண மனிதனிடத்தில் என்னால் பதில் சொல்ல முடியலேன்னு சொல்லிட்டு, எவ்ரி பார்ட்டிக்கிள் ஆஃப் சாண்ட் ஆஃப் திஸ் இந்தியா இஸ் கிரேட். திஸ் இஸ் வாட் ஹீ செட். இவனுக்கு யார் வகுப்படுத்தாங்க? யார் சொல்லி கொடுத்தாங்க? How this guy came to know? And he was able to confront me and I have no answer for it. இல்லைப்பா சாரி பா, சேர்ந்து போகலாம், நம்ம சாமி அப்படின்னு போனார், நம்ம சாமின்னு போனார். அப்படின்னா வேதத்தின் அத்தாரிட்டியை அசைச்சு பார்த்துருக்கிறான் ஒரு ஆடு மேய்க்கிறவன். அதுதான் இந்த நாட்டினுடைய பெருமை என்று நான் சொல்ல வருகின்றேன். And finally, Swamiji was always for a cultural renaissance to happen in this country. ஒரு ஆன்மீக புரட்சி, ஒரு மறுமலர்ச்சி இந்த தேசத்தில் ஏற்பட வேண்டும் என்று சுவாமி விரும்பினார். He wanted Vedanta to empower every Indian and prepare him for the huge task of nation building. பல நேரங்களில் I have found Swamiji's views and Vivekananda's views are perfectly match each other. So the nation building has to be a people's movement, like what Mahatma Gandhi said. Nation building has to be a people's movement and every Indian has to commit himself, for which Vedanta should enrich him and empower him. பார்த்தீங்களா எப்படி கனெக்ட் பண்ணுறாருன்னு? இதெல்லாம் தெரியணும் சார். அப்புறம் இன்னொன்று அடிக்கடி சொல்லுவார், பி மோர், அது இப்போ சாமி சொன்னாங்க, பி மோர் அ கான்ட்ரிபியூட்டர் அண்ட் நாட் அ கன்சியூமர் சொல்லியிருக்காரா இல்லையா? பலரும் கேட்டிருப்பீங்க. am I right? In most of his meetings he'll say, don't ask for everything. Ask yourself what இந்த கென்னடி சொன்னார்னு பெருமையாக சொல்லுவோம். Ask not what America can give to me, what I can. இதெல்லாம் இங்கே எப்போவே சொல்லியாச்சு. நீ சொல்லாததே ஒன்றும் இல்லை. எதை சொன்னாலும் ஆல்ரெடி டோல்டு. What anybody said, anything, anywhere in the world has already been told here. So, another thing, his admiration for India, and its collective wisdom and the faith in the people of India, அதை நான் நிறைய பேசியிருக்கிறேன். நான் இங்கே வந்து I may not have attended classes, but he used to come to my place for lunch and we used to talk as equals, because Swami, one thing unique about Swami Dayananda Saraswati, in 5 minutes he'll put you to ease. முதல்ல you will go with great reverence, பம்பிட்டு போவீங்க. 10 நிமிஷத்தில் அட உட்காரையா, நானும் நீ ஒன்று தான், என்ன சொல்லு. He put you into ease. So I used to argue with him. So he had great faith in the people. அதான் அந்த எபிசோடு சொன்னேன் நான் உங்களுக்கு. அப்புறம் now finally, what is the unfinished agenda of Swamiji? அதை விட can anything be relevant on 34th anniversary? What is the unfinished agenda of Swami Dayananda Saraswati? And we have to take it forward. Swami, in his last days, when he was in the Kovai Medicals, I went there to see him. His secretary was there. He asked him to go out. And he asked me to sit close to him, and he held my hands. என்னுடைய காலம் முடிய போகுது. My days are going to be over. But I am happy I have done my best. But this has to go on. The future generation should take it forward. The message of India has to be conveyed to the whole world. Again, Vivekananda said, wisdom made her home here in India before she went out to other parts of the world. அவர்கிட்ட எப்போவுமே கொஞ்சம் arrogance அதிகம் விவேகானந்தர்கிட்ட. விவேகானந்தரும் மகாகவி பாரதி கொஞ்சம் arrogant. அது நியாயம்தான். Wisdom made her home here in India before she went out to any other parts of the world. சொல்லிட்டு எனக்கு வயசாயிடுச்சு. This is last days. From there he went to Rishikesh, and that's the end of it. But you people have to take it forward. So the unfinished agenda is what we need to know. I'll just quickly list it out. What was his unfinished agenda? என்ன சொன்னார்னா, okay, all this economic advancement and technological advancement has changed everything in the last 150 years, as a result of which things have changed. The last question, my young friend, you must note this. The last, அவர் என்ன சொன்னார்னா, okay, all this is okay, but at the end of it, has humanity gained or lost? இது அவசியம் பிரபு நீங்கள் கேட்டுக்கணும். ஒரு லீடிங் ஆடிட்டர் வந்திருக்காரு, அவர் எதையுமே ஆடிட் பண்ணுவாங்க. The bottom line of Swami Dayananda Saraswati's message is this: okay, your economic advancement and technological advancement has all resulted in a total change of everything. But at the end of it, have humanity gained more or lost more? Please ask this question to yourself and solite. His unfinished agenda சொன்னார். அதுதான் நாம் கவனிக்கணும். First and foremost, to bring about an attitudinal correction. I will just quickly read it, no time to explain. To bring about an attitudinal correction. Second, to make people realize the divinity in them and make them a lot more sensitive to the needs of the weak and the vulnerable. Point 3, to give them the supreme knowledge to all and make them spiritually evolved human beings. The next one, 65% of the population are youth. What are you going to do with them? How are you going to bring out the immense potentials in the youth of India? And so that they can make best use of the strength and not the weakness. அப்புறம் பாருங்க, இன்னொன்று ரொம்ப நல்லா சொன்னார். To build an egalitarian, classless society, inclusive in nature, ever ready to accept and embrace all as theirs. இன்னொருக்கா படிக்கட்டுமா? படிச்சா தேவையில்லையா? டைம் ஆயிருமா? படிங்க. I like you, ma. We know each other so well. The only face I remember after Swamiji is in Dhammada. To build an egalitarian, classless society, inclusive in nature, ever ready to accept and embrace all as theirs. இதை விட என்ன வேதாந்தம் வேண்டியது இருக்கு? What a society he dreamt of. Swami, he was a very progressive man. If you talk to him one-to-one, as equals, you will get the best out of the man. Now I am regretting all those conversations. இடையில ரெக்கார்டு பண்ணாமல் போயிட்டுமேங்கிறதா எனக்கு வருத்தம். Because இன்னும் சிலதெல்லாம் இருக்கு, டைம் இல்லை. I know the man in and out. I may not have been a formal student of the Vedanta classes, but I know the quintessence of Vedanta thanks to Swami Vivekananda and his works. So, then, let us remember Swamiji with gratitude and let us find him in our prayers. His message is very simple. Work for your individual liberation for the well-being of the humanity. You evolve yourself into a better human being, not to enrich yourself, not to empower yourself, but to make the world a better place to live. இதெல்லாம் நான் தனிப்பட்ட முறையில் பேசியிருக்கேன். We have traveled in car extensively. We have conversed at my home and here and in common places and in Rotary meetings. Rotary meeting ஒரு முறை வந்தார் சாமி. The Rotary, any Rotarians here? You are a Rotary? There are 3 people. Every year the Rotary International President gives a theme. And the theme for that year when he came was, look beyond yourself. மேடைக்கு வந்தார், உட்கார்ந்து பார்த்தாரு. என்னது? Swami, this is the theme, the Rotary International. I see. What is this? Look beyond yourself. Is he an Indian who gave this theme? Yes, it was an Indian. Because Andy said, only an Indian can think like this. சொல்லிட்டு, இருங்க. Look beyond yourself ன்னு சொல்லக்கூடாது. Telephone, and he's my good friend, Rajendra Sabu in Chandigarh. Call him up and tell him, don't say look beyond yourself. Look at yourself. So, let us remember the man. What is his prescription to humanity? அது சொல்லணுமல்ல. I told you, he's concerned about society. He was concerned about the whole of humanity. For heaven's sake, you cannot confine Swamiji to one religion or race or land. Believe me, Swami Dayananda Saraswati's dream is not one land or race or religion. He was for the whole of humanity. He was a great yogi, no doubt about it. And I am going to close with a quotation of Swami Vivekananda, which falls 100% on this. Time romba poidudu. Let me read this quotation. Some of you might have heard this. Each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest the divinity within. Eppadi? By controlling nature, internal and external. Solid prescription. Do this either by work or worship, or by psychic control or philosophy, by one or more, or by all of them, and be free. இதுதான் விவேகானந்தர் சொன்னார், நம்ம சாமின்னு சொன்னார். இன்னொருக்கா சொல்லியே தீரணும், எல்லாத்துக்கும் புரிஞ்சிருக்க வாய்ப்பு இல்லை. Each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest the divinity within by controlling nature, internal and external. Eppadi? Do this either by work or worship, karma yogam, by psychic control or philosophy, jnana yogam, by one or more, by all of them, and ultimately be free. This is the prescription of Vivekananda, and I can tell you, to the extent I know Pujya Swamiji, this is just what he was also. Follow any damn thing and get liberated. Follow any damn thing. He was above religion, for heaven's sake. You can't confine Swamiji, as I told you, to a land or a race or a religion. He belongs to the whole of humanity. That's why I told you this Gurukulam is no more a Gurukulam, it is a Peedam. கைதட்டுங்க. ஸோ நீங்கள் எல்லாம் லவுடாக கைதட்டினீங்கன்னா சீஃப் ஆச்சாரியாவுக்கு வேறு வழி இல்லை. இவரை கூப்பிட்டு சொல்லிடுவார், நாளைக்கு மாற்றிருங்கப்பா. உண்மைதான். I don't know what is the, how can an organization qualify to a Peedam எனக்கு தெரியல. இப்போ 34 வருஷமாக the kind of work this organization silently has done. They don't believe in marketing or publicizing or fundraising. No, never. No, never. The faith in the Lord is so complete. They feel all will have. Swami அவருடைய 80th birthday கொடிசால் நடந்ததில்ல, அப்போ என்னை தனியாக கூட்டிகிட்டு போய் அந்த க்ரீன் ரூமில் உட்காந்து நான் இதெல்லாம் வேண்டான்னு சொன்னேன். அவர் 80th நினைக்கிறேன். Was that the celebration? Yes. He told me, இதெல்லாம் வேண்டான்னு சொன்னால் விட மாட்டேங்கிறாங்க. I don't like publicity. I want to be lost in the crowd, mingle with the masses and do my work quietly. But I'm happy, Acharya Swami, that culture is, I see it totally present even today after his going away. And this is the strength of Gurukulam, and glory to Swami and Gurukulam. Romba thanks amma. Romba thanks. Romba time I do. Thank you all very much. Thank you all very much.